is happening really is, what is happening really is, inside this parent component, this guy wrote it something called app dash child, and he must have write it something called some kind of count equals to some value, not count, something, whatever it is. Okay. This is how they will send. Now, if I do this, what will happen? This count value will be given to child. Then the child will receive it by at the rate input. That is parent to child. If I have to do child to parent, directly in child, I will update one value with ng model, and parent will see it from hashtag. What is TS file logic? TS file logic is at the rate input. Okay. If you do at the rate input or at the rate view child, okay, the both are similar. You can do at the rate view child logic, at the rate input logic. Oh, for seeing child to parent, you can see at the rate view child for the TS. At the rate view child is for the TS. The hash is for the template. Now, let's write it here. Someone click it here. That will come here. Write it here. Click it here. That will come here. UI is nice. Okay, this is good. Next. Someone also created something shoe store. It's looking really good. Shoe store. Now click here, add to data. Now here, get data, updated. Perfectly, it's done. These are basic services. Today you will do services similar to API logic. Okay. That will teach you a better kind of good. Once you understand this API logic, then you are gonna do it in another level. Okay. We will do some CRUD application, and then we will do routing. That will make it like most of the Angular to be done. Is it clear, ma? Okay. Now, good. Off, any other ma offline? Huh? Raj? 8 dot netlify dot app PVR site model shows for boys. Most people are into with the shows. Good. Yes. Right. Luxury shoes are added. Perfect. Similar example. Nice. Any other? Any other, sir? Is good. Now today, like most people are building with similar to the e-commerce one. So today you will get it in a more in simple way to do that. Okay. Now, is everyone clear, ma? Any doubt, sir? No. Let's go here. Let's build the things. Now, before we build, let's write it here. Did I write services? No, never. Services dot txt. Now, services are used to store common data and to provide communication between any components, any components, any components. How do you do? You can create a service. You can create a service by command ng generate service, ng generate service. You can create a command by command ng generate service, service name. It will create, it will create two files, two files, one ts and one spec.ts files. And spec.ts is used for testing and actual service. Actual service lies in .ts. Okay. Services are 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 initialized with at the rate injectable decorator, stating that these services these services can be injectable into any other services. Any other services. Next. So how do you do this? How do you initialize? How do you use the service? How to use service? Import service in any component. Create an instance for that service in constructor parameter of that component. Now, now, how to use spec.ts for testing? Can you give some simple example? Someone is saying it. We will not do testing it now. But if you want to do testing, command is ng test. When your application is ready, if you write it ng test, automatically it will read all the spec.js files and it will do testing. Those are called unit testing files. What does it mean actually? This is third off topic, but I will tell you. In front end development, there is one type of testing called unit testing. What is it called? Unit testing bole to here you created so many components, Ray. You created one header, you created so many components, and this all one more component. Like this, you created so many. Now after this all, you build the application, and then after whole application is done, then you will go for testing na. Then in that testing there may be any problem may happen na. Then that is why what the front end developer will do, for every component they will do one test whether this component is correctly running or not. Only this component, whether this component is correctly running or not, whether this component is running correctly or not. Like that they will check it for each and every component. Okay, like this component wise or function wise or the use wise, you will write it chota codes to text it. That is called unit testing. First, we will do that unit testing, and then it will go for the real time one. Okay. So tell me any small real time projects in Angular. We will do it. Don't worry. After today's class, you will do so many real time projects. Okay. Now, today's class, once you are over, you will get it all the things. Now, sir, creating an instance for the service in the constructor parameter is called, what is it called? Dependency injection. Dependency injection. Dependency injection. It is one of the fundamental concept in Angular. By creating, by creating, by creating instance in the parameter, in the constructor's parameter, in the constructor parameter, Angular makes the component. You can use actually dependency injection for components or pipes or directives. Okay, directives. Angular makes the component or direct pipes or directives independent from its dependence. Dependence. Dependencies. Whatever. Now basically one class is depending on some another class. My component is depending on the service. Okay. If something in service changes, my components may get trouble. That is why components wants to use everything in the service. To use that everything in the service, what the component do, instead of accessing directly from the service, it created one instance for the service and it is using its copy. Okay, it is using its copy. Another component can do its own copy. This is called dependency injection. Now, okay, next after today class you will get it like main points. Now next today's main topic, http client. http client. http client. Now do you all know do you all know fetch? What is the use of fetch? Use of get the data from an API. There is an API link. In that API link, there will be some data. That data you will get it. How many of you know API concepts well, sir? One, two, three, four, five. Does remaining people not have idea? Fetch, async, await, promises. No? Okay. Now I will tell you from starting. Okay. Now, Dekho, listen to this. From starting, I will tell you. Understand it. And anytime you get a doubt, you can ask me. People who already knows also listen to it. Kuch nahi hota. Imagine you are having, imagine you are having some simple cool drink shop. Imagine you are having some cool drink shop. Okay. Now, some guy come to you for a cool drink. You are having in a cool drink shop online. Can you hear me? Is my voice is clear online? If it is not, please check your thing. Some people voice is not clear. I think. Please check it, sir. Now, okay. Now listen to this. Some guy come to your shop for a cool drink. Now you are having it like in the cool drink shops, and every some guy came and that guy asked for a thumbs up, but in your shop, thumbs up is not there. You don't want to lose the customer. In your shop, the thumbs up is not there, and some guy came to your shop and asked for thumbs up. What will you do? Good. What will you do? Right? Go to, you will go to another shop, right? Will you say to the customer, go to another shop? No. It's like going to the YouTube and typing one Titanic, and that YouTube says go to Netflix. It will never say, right or not? So you will go to someone, but if you go there, customer will know that, right or not? So what you will do, you will have another guy and you will say this guy, go to some another shop and bring me the cool drink so that I will give it to this guy. Is it clear? And this is called API. This is called API, application programming interface. Every application will do this. For example, you go to Zomato. If you go to Zomato, in Zomato, you will have one map, right? Or a map. You will have map na Zomato. Zomato maps will be there. In Ola map will be there. In Uber map will be there. In Swiggy map will be there. In Rapido map will be there. Does any one of these people build their own map? Then which map they use? Google map. But if you see in Rapido on the Google map, everything is yellow color. In Ola, map will be in different color. In Uber, it's different color. In Swiggy, it's different color. In Zomato, it's different color. Right or not? Right? Now, even though all are using single one only, but they are having different customizations because they are buying it actually. So ultimately, some guy developed one Google map, and the Zomato people is saying it like, I will use you. And I am the end customer. I don't know. Did I open Google Map? No, I opened Zomato. Zomato is using Google Map. I don't know that. I was like, give me, send me into my location. Automatically, it is asking Google Map what is his location, and Google is telling him his location, and it is asking it like how much distance. Google is telling the distance, and it is asking it like send it to him, and then it is sending it. Is it clear, man? So Google Map is actually working it in the backend. That like without your customer knowledge, you are sending it. You are doing it. This is called API. Okay. Now this one is done by almost all. Now You will have something called front end, sir. Now onwards, you will understand how the actual applications are built. Real time applications, how they built. Now onwards, you will understand. You will have one front end application, front end. What is front end, sir? Your Angular is front end, right? You will have one back end application, maybe Java or Python or .NET. Here, Python and .NET people are there. You will have your .NET and something. Then you will have something called database, right or not? Your database and backend are connected. Can you connect database to front end? Can you connect your database to front end, ma? No, you cannot connect your database to front end. Why, sir? Because anything you put in front end code, ma, people can see your code. Okay. Earlier, some person did one code, and I can able to whatever the code you do. Okay, whatever the code you do, that code I can able to see it. Arre, if I go here, like Raj 8 .NET 5, then if I go right click, if I go inspect, if I go to this, if I go to sources, I can able to see their code. Because it's an Angular project, it got polyfills and all. This is the dist file, right? Now, if I go here I can at least see the code now, actual code, right or not? But but if I see the database like this, that would be a problem. That is why front end should not be connected to database. It's not normally possible also, but even though it's possible, never ever do that. Now, front end, back end with your Python. Now, front end connects to back end connects to database. And again, back end database and the front end database. This is how basic communication. How the front end and back end are connected through API. To what? API. Back end people create one API. Back end people will create one API and they will create one endpoint. In that endpoint, they will put some data. That means they will create one link, sir. In that link, the data will be there. Now, you will use that data in the front end. You will use that data in the front end. Is it clear, ma? Backend people will create the data in API link, and in that link, the data will be there. And front end people will just use it. Front end people don't know like how they will come and all. Okay. Now, don't worry. Like once you understand this basic HTTP client, I will do one CRUD application where I will create my own backend also, so that I will show you one full stack. Okay. Now, similar to Google Map. Now here, every application, every time backend will create a API and that API you will use it. Okay. Now, how to do this? I will show you. This is all basic logic. Okay. Now, to achieve it, normally JavaScript will have something called fetch. What it will have? Fetch. So try to learn fetch and promises. Okay. But here in Angular, we don't use fetch because Angular have something called HTTP client. What it will have? HTTP client. HTTP client in Angular is used to handle HTTP requests. HTTP requests are the API requests like get, post, put, delete. You can, in normal JavaScript, you will use either Axios or fetch. Here, you don't need fetch, you don't need Axios. By default, it will have something called HTTP client. Now next, let's start my application. Everyone, see this. I'm gonna create one small application so that you will understand it. New terminal. How to create an application? First, I will go to the folder CD Angular, CD code, CD HTTP client demo. Oh, I have to create it. Huh? So I will directly create an application. ng new HTTP client demo dash dash standalone equals to false. That will create one application, sir. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? No? Go here, click this. CSS, server side rendering now. Let it install. In the meanwhile, I will show you some API. Go here. Um, we have so many free APIs. I will give you list of free APIs. Uh, one of the API I will use it in this code is something random quote generator or random quote generator. Why it is not working? It is not doing it. What? No, quotable is not working. So I will try something random joke. Random joke. Control C. See, when I go to one link, sir, when I everyone understand. When I go to one link, this is the link. I will tell you. Now, when I go to this link, what is the link? HTTPS something something website na? This is the website link. Now, can you see slash random joke is coming? When I click on slash random joke, I am getting some data. When I'm going to slash random joke, I'm getting some data na? That slash random joke is called endpoint. What it is called? Endpoint. Different endpoints will have different data. Amazon.com is one website. Amazon.com slash data. I'm getting one data. Data one, I'm getting different data. Data two, I'm getting different data. So each one is one endpoint. What they are called? Endpoint. They are at end. Now, sir, using this, I will get different kind of jokes every time. So even online people, I will send this link and I will tell you different free APIs also which you can use. Okay. Now, Uttam Kumar, you will get an error. This command is not available running it workspace. That means you are not having it like, you know, exact folder. Go in, go to the outside of the folder. When you are in outside folder nicely, then do it. Okay. Now let's go here. Clear, everyone. Now in the code, I created one more folder which is called ng, which is called cd http client demo. I go inside. Now I am inside this. Now I will write it here ng serve dash o. Yes, I will serve the application. Yeah, I got it. Then after I got this, go down. Let's create one service also. Create here cd angular. If you want to see the code http client, you can see this src app. Now nothing is there in the app, no service. Now go here cd